Right, we're going for it. Mobility Overhaul 61. Full body this morning. Live people, you have the final word, so I'm going to start us off, and as we're moving, like I said, so if you start hearing people piping up, they have got permission today. We're going to start off with the neck. Now, I'm going to get close and I'm going to show you exactly what we're after here. We're going to be lying down flat, but if you pay attention to the zone that I'm after, okay, the zone that I want to show you, that we're going to be foam rolling, you've got a choice, okay? We're either going to do the actual lengths of the neck, these big neck extensors running up here that a lot of people, if you do your chin tucks and those feel pretty tight, that's what I want you to do. So see when we start off that, rolling the spine up during a warm-up, if those always feel tight, that's the area I want you to go on. Remember, we don't go on the spine, but hopefully that goes without saying, because if you do, it's going to feel horrible. Or if you feel you're always getting tension in your head, a lot of headaches and stuff, this is another good one. I want you to put the foam roller head, the ball, you'll feel it when you lie down on it. There's a little pocket in there that will just sink into. Okay, I want you to get into that and then work along the base of your skull. Okay, run into the ear and then back along to the other ear. Okay, you'll know exactly where to go, because as soon as you put the ball in that pocket, that cavity, you'll feel, okay, you'll feel the base of your skull. And you'll feel when you'll just know not where to go, because it'll be horrible. You'll be on the bone. We don't want to be on the bone. So without further ado, let's get into it. So whatever zone you've decided, and see if you're not sure. If you're not sure, wait till I make sure you can actually see me. The camera can see me. If you're not sure which area to go for, quickly try both. So I'll show you now. I'm lying back. I'm going to put it in that cavity that you showed me. I've got my hand. Okay, rather than move your body around, move the ball around with your hand, okay? That's a top tip, because you see a lot of people like all this. We've got it in there, okay? I'm going to give it a little scrub as I do. How does that feel? Oh, quite nasty. Okay, so I'm going to go across quickly towards my ear. Yep, okay, that's feeling pretty horrible. So that's what I'd say to you, give that a bash. Or get onto your actual neck, okay? And this is where you have to just try and keep the head. You can support the head with the hand, okay, so you're not getting all the strain up the front. You can support the weight of your head slightly. We're wanting to use the weight of our head to the advantage here. We want to get the weight of our head into the ball, but at the same time, because your head probably can't touch the ground, you'll find that all this up the front starts to get tired. So you can just slightly put your hand underneath your head and support it. That's if you're doing the neck. So you've got the choice, okay, and the best way to know which one to do is just get on the zone and give it a little scrub, okay? So we know our scrubbing technique, it's just literally side to side, moving along. And if you are going for the base of the head, okay, you probably won't have to move very far until you start to feel some pain. Remember, quickly scrub the entire length. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the area of high pain, not low pain. As soon as I find the area of what I would say is the highest pain, that's what we're going to focus on. 2 minutes each side. We're being strict with it today, okay, so we don't turn it into just upper body. So we're going to scrub it. Because it's only going to be 2 minutes each side, you need to make the most of this time. You don't have time to break yourself in gently. You don't have time to faff about. Find pain in that area and begin pushing down, getting more weight on it. We're pressure sequence, okay, we're pressure wave. Pushing down, applying as much weight as I can while I'm scrubbing it. Side to side, up and down. Little circles, but remember, the scrubbing is so small a movement, okay? We want to stay on the problem area. I don't want to go side to side and keep going on and off of it. So just imagine it's someone's elbow getting stuck in there and just trying to break up that muscle tissue. And I want you to just get as much weight down on there as you can. Contract, relax doesn't really work in this position. If you can manage it, go for it. But all I want you to do is just get pushing down as much weight onto that foam roller and just give it a good scrub, okay? That's probably the best technique I can give you for this, the pressure and the scrub, okay? And work the entire length. We're only going on one side. I'll tell you when to change. So we're still on the first side, whether that's left or right, okay? And again, it's dependent on whether you've decided to go for those neck extensors or whether you're working along the base of that skull. To be fair, you'll probably find that the area you stop at with high pain, if you're doing the base of the skull, is indeed where the neck extensors kind of feed in to your head, if you like. Okay, so you go for it now, please. This is it. Last 30 seconds, really go for it. I want you to get as much done on that area as you can before we change to the other side. Combination of supporting your head, but also push into it, okay? Look at me, I'm pushing my head. It's not the prettiest of sights, but you can add a bit more weight by pushing your head down. Remember, we're trying to keep the muscle tissue that I'm working relaxed. Okay, and I'm going to change sides. So hopefully it's common sense again, but I'll mention it. If you done the neck extensors on the left, do the neck extensors on the right. If you were working along the base of that skull, okay, along here, do that on the opposite side now as well. So I'm simply changing. If you're doing the base of the skull, center back on the base of the skull, and this is where you will feel like you're kind of on the spine. That hollow cavity, that ball will just seem to sit in there, okay? And I want you just to start off in that place, and then slowly go the opposite way now. And if you're doing your neck extensors, obviously it's the same detail, okay? I want you just to find pain working up the length of that muscle group until you find an area of high pain, and then all I want you to do is work on that area of high pain, okay? And if you're not sure, just very quickly scrub along the entire length of the area that you're working, find the area that feels like it needs the most, get on it, push down into it, okay? And it's as simple as that. Whoa. And I'm sure you'll find plenty of areas to work on, okay? But we're dealing with the worst. 2 minutes each side, get the most out of it. Scrub it, scrub the hell out of it. Okay, trying to break up all that tension. So we're working on the neck. I keep saying, well, neck's such an important thing. It's got such an important job, but it gets abused, okay? It's constantly got the strain in your head. You don't appreciate the weight of your own head until you feel the weight of it, or you feel the weight of someone else's, whatever that may be, okay? So your head does weigh a fair bit, and these neck muscles have got a big job of trying to support it all day long, okay? And then you throw an exercise on top of it. Keep working on it, please. Keep working, keep scrubbing as I'm talking. You throw exercise on top of it, and you've got all these forces now playing upon it, especially when you're throwing your head around doing the likes of burpees, kettlebell swings. So if it's all tied up tight, it's a recipe for disaster. Also, a lot of people suffer from tension headaches, okay? I get it now and again where my neck and my shoulders get all jammed up tight, and you just feel it pulling down on what feels like your brain. And then you get a sore head, and you'll find that there's always a lot of tension to be had in here. Last 30 seconds, go for it. So your neck, look after your neck. It's got an important job to do, and for anyone that's pulled, I'm sure everybody at some point in their life has pulled their neck out or tweaked their neck, okay? It's not nice, and it makes you appreciate good, healthy neck muscles. Okay, so we need a strong neck, but also we need a nice, supple neck as well. Right, okay, so I'm done. Whoa. Now, you can stand up, probably, if I'm going to stand up if I'm honest with you, this one will be better. I'm going to stretch out my neck extensors. How do I do that? Simple, okay? Stand up tall, get your posture set, just like we're doing our warm-up routine, okay? So I want you to stand up tall, pull the shoulder blades together, have a nice proud chest. That doesn't mean stand like this, that just means make sure you're not stooped. Then I want you to tuck the chin in, and you'll notice that I'm not going with my body. I just want you to tuck the chin in. We're lengthening out those neck extensors, okay? And then what I want you to do is get both hands up on top of the top of your head, behind your neck if you like, and just apply a little bit of tension. And you have to be careful here, okay? Don't just pull your neck as hard as you can. All I want you to do is just slowly increase the weight and the tension that you're pulling down on your neck. And it's as simple as that. Think about the chin. Is my chin tucked in? Yes, okay. And you'll feel this. Remember, I want to be relaxed. I'm going to hold this for a good minute. So as always with the neck, you know, we can just tilt our head over to the left or right and we completely change how the muscles are stretched, what muscles are stretched. But right now, in this moment in time, we're stretching out those neck extensors, okay? Those big, meaty muscles that you feel running up the back of your neck that get a lot of abuse. So it's a combination of tucking the chin in,
Resting the arms at the top of the head just to add a bit of weight, and then I want you just to imagine you're pushing that spine out the back of your neck, just to help lengthen it all out. Good. And slowly, I want you to look up. Okay, and then I want you to do 2 neck rotations, just like we do at the start of a circuit. 2 neck rotations, okay, just to balance it all out. So tuck the chin in, and trying to imagine keeping that chin at the center of the circle. Big circles, stretching everything out. Now I'm trying to lean my head as much as I can, but keep my shoulders level. So by doing these neck rotations, I'm not starting to throw my body around with it, I'm just working strictly on the neck. Take your time with it. 2 full rotations, that's me just done 2 one way, and now I'm going to do 2 the other, so there is no rush. And what we're doing this for is it will identify to you the areas that feel tight. So if you do feel that your neck's always jammed up tight, you're going to start to feel the areas that you need to work on. And for a lot of us, it is those neck extensors that we've done, but also going into these upper trapezius muscles, which we often quite talk about and do during our mobility classes, and that's what we're going to move on to next, briefly. Okay, now if you're still going, keep going, and I'll talk you through what we're going to do next. Right, we're back on the ball. Same idea, same technique, except this time we can get a bit of smash and floss involved, okay? So it's exactly the same idea. Don't overthink it, other than you're just looking for I'm giving you the zone, you're looking for pain and discomfort within that zone. So we're moving on to the upper trapezius, okay? The trapezius muscles, big muscle group that runs down the back and swoops onto the shoulders here, okay? What we want to concern myself with is the upper trapezius. So here, going from the base of the neck now, along and around this sort of area here, feeding out into the outer of the shoulder, okay? So this is the area you're working on. You'll feel it, because it'll feel like a big meaty muscle group as soon as you lie on it. So that's what we're going for right now. So please get stuck into it. And all I'm doing, okay, use your hand. Use your hand to set the ball up. So I'm lying down. I'm going to start on the base of my neck, okay? And then this is where, everyone, you really need to you need to get yourself in the right position, okay? So I can bridge my hips up, and I'm going to push down. And all I'm trying to do is get as much weight onto that ball as I can. And then I'm going to start my usual. I'm going to scrub, looking for areas. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't want you to spend all day looking for areas. Find one and get stuck onto it. I'm pretty sure most people, it doesn't help I've got a hood on, most people are going to find a decent bit of pain and discomfort in this muscle group. The problem being, to get right into those upper trapezius muscles, you might have to get your body in a weird angle, okay? So, find the pain, find the discomfort, and start scrubbing that area, okay? So I'm on it, pushing down, and always just trying to improve it as I go. So be like, right, okay, maybe if I move the arm that way, I get into it a wee bit more. So the first part is just the usual, pressure, okay? I'm trying to get weight onto the area that I'm working on. And if you're not feeling anything, keep moving around. Find something to work on. You will find it. Trust me, you will. It'll be in there somewhere. Right, there we go. Bingo. Now, if you do this area often, you'll probably know exactly where to go. So there we are. Feels, oh, it does not feel nice. So please, if it feels all right, keep moving around. Keep exploring the area. Keep scrubbing to try and move that muscle tissue around and open things up. So first part, pressure. I'm trying to push my body down into this horrible little area that I'm on just now, but I can only get so far with that, okay? Because I'm literally just trying to push my body into the ground. So if I bridge my hips up, and imagine I'm at the top of a glute bridge, now there's much more weight on my shoulders, okay? I'm not asking you to hold a stress position, okay? Don't have to have the glutes locked out. So again, I'm scrubbing it. I'm trying to break it up. I'm not just holding the one area because it feels nice. I'm getting on to that problem area, okay? So do what you need to get that area worked. And just always making sure you're on the worst. As you go on here, you might start to find you're not quite on the right area. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now, If you can see me, which I hope you can, we're going to use, oh man, we're going to use the smash and floss technique on this one, and it's a good one. What I want you to make sure, first of all, is think about the shoulder, keep it pinned to the ground, and then I want you to straighten your arm out perfectly straight, facing towards the sky. Shoulder blade pulled together. Now I want you to make sure, once you've lifted that arm up, that you are indeed on the worst spot, what feels like the worst spot. Get the weight down on it. And then this hand, always keeping it perfectly straight and locked out, always keeping this shoulder pinned to the ground, don't pull it off. I want you to simply get that hand and move it straight across until your arm is straight and pretty much touching across your opposite hip, pelvis, if you like. Okay, and then when you do that, it's going to open that wing up a little bit. It's going to open up that shoulder blade a little bit, which might let you get right in there a bit more. Okay, so just again, make sure you are in the worst possible place. And then once you've pinned it and it feels like, yep, that's the worst, that feels awful, straighten the arm back out, facing towards the sky. And then this time, this is an important one. For some people, this might be the worst, probably is. You're holding that horrible area, it's uncomfortable. I want you to start moving the arm back, okay? Back, 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 back. Keep that muscle tissue relaxed. Keep imagining that ball is sinking into the muscle group, okay? And keep scrubbing it at the same time. Make sure I'm on the worst. And now I want you to repeat that. So it's across, up, and back. Keep that going as in that sequence as I say it. Across, up, and back. And as you're moving that arm, keep making sure you're on the worst possible area, okay? And this is just going to help. We've pinned that problem area to the ball and the bone, and now I'm just smashing it and crushing the hell out of it, basically, okay? So it feels disgusting, but it feels good, okay? And then you can do anything you want, pretty much. Look what I'm doing now, okay? So you can pump the arm up and down as if I was doing a shoulder press almost. And that's another way to get it going. So what I'm trying to get at is there's no right or wrong, okay? Whatever feels like it's doing some good. Right, okay, I want you to change sides. Change sides, everybody. So, same again. Get on the area, look for pain and discomfort. Don't spend all day on it though. Don't spend all day trying to find it. Find something, and as you go, and as you probably realised last time, as you start to get into the techniques and stuff, you'll start to find that maybe that area develops. You'll start to find more pain and discomfort around that area. So for me, I've just gone, basically, I'm being symmetrical today. I've pretty much gone over to the same side in the same point I was at before on the other side. And sure as fate, it's feeling pretty nasty too. Now, if it's not, okay, just explore around that area and I'm sure you'll find something. If you don't, keep working around that upper trapezius and I'm sure you'll definitely find something. So straight away, this side feels worse and I've hardly got any weight on it. So all I'm doing just now is just trying to get as much weight. So now I'm bridging my hips up and I'm scrubbing it. Okay, I'm scrubbing that area. Feels horrendous. Okay, you can feel how tied up tight everything is. So side to side, side to side. My word, it's boiling. So get as much weight on there and keep scrubbing that area, please. So there we have it. Okay, I've got weight on there. I feel like I'm getting as much weight on there as I can. And then and only then, I make sure I'm pinning the worst area. So have a wee look around. Yep, okay, that feels horrendous. So then I'm going to start the arm movement sequence, okay? Just starting to smash the area. So I'm going for straight arm up. Always straight arm, okay? Shoulder blade pinned to the ground. And when you lift that arm up, you might have to just adjust slightly. Then it's across to the opposite pelvis, which is going to bring that shoulder, it's going to open up that shoulder blade. It's going to let you get in there a bit more, okay? So really, again, make sure you're on the worst possible spot. Give it a wee scrub, okay? And then arms straight up again towards the sky. Okay, and head pleasant. And then we're bringing that arm overhead, okay? So back behind me and keep scrubbing it. And then I'm going to keep that sequence going up, across, and back. Keeping scrubbing at the same time, just making sure I'm keeping that going. on the worst spots. Oh, aye. So hopefully you're getting the best out of that and it's feeling pretty good. Right, okay, boom. So, spent a wee bit of time on that neck this morning. We often don't get much time to do it, but we could literally spend all day just trying to make this neck nice. So, I'm not farting about because we really don't have time to get, we've got time, but we don't have time to stop and talk nonsense. So I'll talk my nonsense while we go. Right, we're going for the overhead stretch. You're going to need a bench, a chair, a coffee table, something that you can get your elbows onto. A very familiar stretch for most. Elbows onto the ledge, and then all I want you to do is quite simply move your knees as far back as you can, and this is all I'm doing. Okay, make sure when you're doing this stretch that you've got those hands. Those hands are behind the head. Those hands are behind the head because we're going to lengthen out these triceps more to get a better stretch straight away in that area. So let's go for it, everybody. The trick is, okay, get set up, get the stretch, and then when you're in the stretch, start moving the knees further back, and when you do that, you'll put more weight on your arms. Beginners, you'll feel that stretch pretty damn quick. Advanced, you'll be able to go a bit further into it. Just be cautious that you're not massively overextending the back. So don't start letting this happen, basically, if you're looking at me now. If you're not, it doesn't matter, but don't let this happen. Try to keep that back fairly neutral. All the way through the elbows. And why we elevate the elbows is so that, as you can see, my head ends up going lower than my arms. If I'd done this on the floor, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere near as low. Plus, by having those knees behind me, further away from the bench, I'm getting much more weight on here. And this one is pretty uncomfortable as time goes on. You'll find the muscles start to relax more and you start to get further and further into the stretch. So what we're stretching out here is the upper back muscles, the big lats, okay? Those big battling muscles that you can feel at the side underneath your armpits. It will feel more like your sides rather than your back, but rest assured it is your back. For most people, you'll feel this in and around the armpit area, and this is a common area that most people are very tight in, and that area pinches when they try to lift their arms up overhead. Okay, they can't lift their arms straight up overhead because this area is tight, so you end up shrugging or you end up having a bent arm when you're trying to lift and press straight over your head. So focus on your breathing. It's a 2-minute hold. You're trying to go further and further and further, and you're trying to stay in as relaxed a state as you can. And I'll be honest, this is not very relaxing. It's very uncomfortable, especially as time goes on. Last few seconds. Good. And if you're ready, slowly ease out. Again, the beauty is if you're watching it on recorded and you want to spend a bit more time on it, just pause. Okay, right, okay, we're going to get into the chest. So we're working all these big muscle groups in the upper body today, first and foremost. So if you're feeling pretty tight as you move these arms around, that's what we're addressing this morning. So into the chest, it's a classic, okay? It's not new to you, unless of course this is the first time you've ever done it. All we're doing, lying down, arm out to the side at 90 degrees. You can vary this angle, okay? So as you get a bit more experienced, you can maybe make it a bit higher, a bit lower, okay? But for me, that 90 degrees straight out does the job for me fine. I want you to get your hand, plant it firmly flat on the ground, okay? And we're keeping it that. We don't let this hand start to twist or lift off when we're doing the stretch. Now, before I start rolling into that arm, I'm going to make sure that my shoulder blades pull together and that shoulder's in the right position as in. This, if you look at me now, is wrong. We don't want to have that shoulder rounded. We want to have the shoulder blade pulled together, and as I start to roll into that arm, I want to make sure that I'm keeping that shoulder squeezed in, okay, as in keep the shoulder blade squeezed in Don't start letting it round. If you start letting that shoulder round as you're stretching, all you're doing is giving into the tightness. Okay, so it's kind of counterproductive. So I'm rolling, I feel the stretch, okay? And now how to enhance it? You're just gonna have to roll your body round into a weird position and then support it, boom, with the other arm. Just keep that other arm there to stop you rolling back. And then with your legs, it's just a case of trying to make yourself as comfortable as you can while trying to get more weight into this arm. So I'm keeping the chest proud, I'm keeping the shoulder blade pulled together, I'm keeping my hand as flat on the ground as I can. And if you do this right, you're going to feel it anywhere from your elbow into the biceps, into the shoulders, into the chest. Okay, so that's what we're after. Now you have to kind of go for this one. It's very easy just to hold it in what feels like a nice stretch. Try and actively go further. Keep the chest proud. I can't urge it enough. Keep the chest proud, as if you're standing up tall and proud, so that we keep this stretch in the actual chest. Don't let the shoulders start to round. And again, it's another simple stretch. Nothing to it once we've got it. We're just trying to enhance it as we go. Trying to go further as it relaxes off a little bit, if it relaxes off a little bit. Okay, last few seconds. So you go for it now. This is you trying to take it literally as far as you can go without hurting yourself. Let's keep it going. Good, and relax. Now, I probably recommend that you sit up and just shake that arm out. A few bicep curls, pump the biceps a bit. Get the blood back in there, okay, because it might not feel very comfortable. And then let's change arms. It's as simple as that. Waste no time. I'm lying down, my arms out, bang, okay. Shoulder blade pulled together, chest proud, and then I'm just rolling. I'm just slowly rolling. Right, I start to feel the stretch, so now I'm just trying to get myself set up in a better position. Right, now that's me in it. I feel the stretch. I'm going to make sure my chest's nice and proud, and I'm pulling the shoulder blade together, keeping that hand flat firmly on the ground, and then support. Now all I'm going to do now for the next couple of minutes is try and take it further and further and further. So we're nearly done for upper body. We're going to do a little bit of triceps next, and then I'm going to move you on to lower body. Again, today it's full body overhaul. We couldn't possibly do every little nitty gritty bit of the full body. That would probably take 5 hours, probably even longer, I would bet. So on live, if there's anything you want me to do, bear in mind time is of the essence. We're halfway through the session, so now's the perfect time to start moving into the lower body. But it's your session on live, so if there's anything specifically you'd like me to do on upper body that I've missed after triceps, please let me know, and I will perhaps do it. Combination of foam rolling and stretching today, so we're really getting a good bit of everything. Try not to get stuck into one area specifically for too long. One stretch, one mobility drill, roughly per muscle group, and that should see us fine. Last few seconds, get that chest proud, go further, go as far as you can, but stay relaxed. You should almost feel like you're about to pop your shoulder out, pop your arm out, but it should not be pain. Never pain when we're stretching. Discomfort, yes, but never pain. Foam rolling, pain, always pain. Okay, pain is what we're after on foam rolling, but not stretching. No, we don't want to be hurting ourselves. Right, okay, relax out of that. Oof, oof, oof. Right, you're going to need your foam roller. We're going to get stuck into the triceps. If you're not sure what the triceps are, see that big muscle group up the back of your arm, this one here, okay? That's the one when we're doing press-ups and any sort of pressing movement with the arms, that's the one that's getting fired up. It gets forgotten about, okay? And if it has been forgotten about, you're going to realise now, I want you to lie down. All I want you to do is get the foam roller. Ideally, if you've got the peaks and valleys, if you like, on your foam roller, all those wee horrible nitty gritty bits, I want you to get one of the sticky out bits and get your elbow onto it. Now, this is where I'll say to you, get yourself in a comfortable position. In fact, I'll start with this arm so you can see. I'm handling the foam roller with my arm, my hand, okay? Don't start moving your body around, there's no need. So all I want you to do is get that arm nice and straight. Remember, we don't foam roll the length of the muscle, we work against the grain. So how do we do that? Okay, we go side to side, don't we? So I want you to start just above the elbow bone, if you like. You can see my palms facing up towards the sky. Doesn't really matter too much, but you'll feel it when you move it around. But the purpose is, I'm not doing my bicep, I'm doing underneath my arm. So I want you to work side to side until he says, don't even get to finish the sentence, until you feel pain and discomfort. What do? Scrub it. We scrub it, don't we? Side to side, side to side. Okay, side to side, scrub the hell out of it. It feels disgusting. Okay, and I want you to make sure scrubbing is side to side. Scrubbing is also little rocking back and forward. And then smash and floss. Bicep curl if you like, but when we bicep curl, if it's that bad, if it's that uncomfortable, don't go fast, because what you'll feel is your triceps start to tense. You'll start to feel it tense because your body doesn't want you doing this, okay? Now, I know I'll always say work on one area, but I want you to try and get a decent length of the tricep done here, because we don't often get to do it. So do it a wee bit, side to side, up and down, a bit of scrubbing by bending and flexing that arm, and then move up a wee bit more. Okay, I want you to try. Now you'll probably find, in this position I'm in just now, I'm more on the inner side of the tricep. See if you just roll out. See if you just roll out a wee bit. Aye, welcome to the pain game. Okay, okay, so that's not nice. Not nice at all, is it? Absolutely awful. But what does that tell you? There's a lot of work to be done here. It's very easy not to be putting your full effort into this. I want you to make sure you are pushing into that foam roller as much weight as you can. You're scrubbing it and you're smashing and flossing it side to side, up and down. Okay, don't forget to get onto the outer tricep as well. You're going to have to roll your body around a wee bit. Then when you're done, move the foam roller a wee bit with a hand. Okay, remember, you don't need to keep trying to move your body in a weird position, just slide it down with the other hand. Try to focus on your breathing. Try to avoid a pain face, okay? You're going to get one. You can see mine coming on and off. As soon as you get your pain faces and you screw your face up, your first focus then is relaxing. Relax into that pain. Okay, this is not nice, everybody. But it should be nice. That's the point. That's the point I'm having. It shouldn't be this bad. And I've seen a lot of people, just like me, screwing their face up. So this is probably one area that I would say to you needs a bit more love and care. Okay, we forget about the triceps. We spend so long doing the likes of the quads and the hamstrings and the glutes, those big muscle groups, okay? This is the equivalent for your arms, but it gets forgotten about. So I'd be honest, that's me roughly almost done the full length of my tricep, almost, not quite, okay? But I'm only just quickly trying to scrub the entire area while we're on it. Okay, so I'm nearly at my armpit. I'm gonna change arms now. So straight on to the next one, no messing about, let's get this finished. So, I get on it, straight arm first, that's gonna get more weight, okay, and just start side to side, up and down. Then when I feel I need to move the foam roller, what do? Instead of trying to shuffle my body along the floor, okay, just move the foam roller with a hand, and then go again, yes. So, smash and floss with flexing and extending that arm, side to side, up and down, scrubbing. Don't forget to roll out onto the outer side of your arm. You'll probably find more pain and discomfort there than anywhere. Okay, and then when you've spent a good bit of time, move a wee bit more, a couple inches further up your arm. Side to side, scrubbing it, okay. The more work you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. That's the way to look at it. If it's uncomfortable, it feels like hell, then that's good. Okay, you're going to get more benefit. If you're just wincing and not quite putting much weight on it because it doesn't feel nice, better than nothing maybe, but only maybe. God, this stuff is tiring. It's exhausting being in pain. Come on, let's go for it. Let's get it done. We're nearly there, so I'm about 3/4 of the way up my tricep. Don't worry if you're spending more time on a key area, that's fine. I'm just trying to, while we're on this area, just try and feed a bit of goodness into the whole area. Okay, boom, we're done. Moving on to the lower body now. Hips. Most of our lower body sessions span in and around the hips because that's where all these big, huge, massive, meaty, powerful muscle groups feed into. So we're going to get stuck into the glutes. Again, if you're a steady follower, you'll know all this stuff by now, okay? So it's familiar to you, but I'll always say as if I've never done it before. Your glutes, your bum. I don't want to go for the upper glutes as in up onto here because if I wanted to do that area here that I'm pointing to now, I'd be lying down. So your butt cheek is in the cheek itself, the bit that you could grab. That's the area we're doing. And you don't even need to move far, everybody, okay? So all I'm doing, you can see what I've done. I've just sat on the ball with one cheek and I'm off to the side, okay? Because I want to get as much weight on there as I can. Now, I want you to, very simply, scan and search the area. Have a wee roll around those glutes and explore them for yourself, okay? And then as soon as you find an area that you go, oh, not an area you go, an area that nearly makes you feel like you're going to barf, then that is the area that you are working on, okay? So I found it. Now, I'm pinning it. With the glutes in this right now, the first goal I would say to you is actually having the glutes relaxed because if you're anything like me right now, this feels horrendous. Now, I am trying to put as much weight on there as I can, but I know that that muscle group is not relaxed. I can feel it's tensing. It's trying to fight me putting weight on it because it's painful. That's your brain. It doesn't want you hurting yourself. So first part is just simply focus on your breathing. Have a wee scrub around that problem area without passing out. And you're trying to get those glutes in a relaxed state, and that requires a good bit of thought, okay? So, and you'll know they're relaxed because you'll feel that ball just sink into them. If it feels like the ball is just literally on the surface of the glutes, it's not relaxed. As soon as your glutes relax, you'll just feel that ball go sinking in. And that is when you want to start really getting stuck into them. But you might find that you just move off ever so slightly and you end up tensed up again. So it's tough. It's tough when it's painful, okay? But I'm scrubbing it. I'm scrubbing that area side to side, little circles, round and round. Now, with the leg of the butt cheek that I'm doing here, move it around, play around with the position, straighten the leg out, how does that feel, okay? Bring the leg up, how does that feel, okay? It might change. I'm not just going to say because you've brought the leg up it feels worse, but it probably will. If you bring the leg up, it will probably feel worse. Why? Because you're lengthening out the glutes, okay? You're expanding that area, you're opening it up, so then that ball's going to get in just a little bit deeper. Okay, so now I've been on here, I feel I'm getting a decent bit of weight, and remember I'm leaning off to the side, so if you look now, to get more weight on it, I'm going to go down onto this elbow, and that's just going to let me get into it all the more. It feels awful, it feels disgusting. And we're going for it. Now, final one. You can bring this leg up and across. Oh, we've lost it. Bring it up and across and pin it there and then go for it. And that'll maybe just let you get stuck into it for the last few seconds. You'll probably find you can't put that much weight on it, but what I want you to do is try your best. Go for it. Last few seconds, I want you to scrub the hell out of it, smash it as much as you can. We're nearly there. Good, and relax. And we're going to change sides. So, you can do that exact same thing with the foam roller to see if maybe for part of a warm-up where you're wanting to hit more of the full muscle group, you can do it with the foam roller. You won't feel it anywhere near as much with the foam roller because the foam roller isn't going to get into the nitty-gritty quite the same. But if you feel that your glutes are pretty jammed up tight, maybe before the likes of you squatting, you can get the foam roller in there and kind of warm up that whole area if you like. But it'll never feel as bad as this does, okay? This is what we're wanting to use our actual mobility classes with. We want to get on the ball with the glutes because it's going to get in there much deeper. So I've found the problem area, I'm on it, and I'm just simply trying to scrub it as much as I can, side to side, up and down. It feels horrendous. But I'm trying to achieve that relaxed state of my glutes. And it's hard to do, especially if there's a lot of pain there. Try and get as much weight on there as you can. There's no right or wrong. You can pull the leg up, lengthen out the glutes a bit more. Okay, you can straighten the leg out. How does that feel? Okay, and just play around with it. Play around with different leg angles. But ultimately, the one that always feels the worst is when you bring that leg up, like I've done now, pin it, and then get stuck in. Okay, that's where you'll probably find it the worst. Go for it. Go for it. You get 10 seconds. Do the full entire glute if you like. Just get stuck into it. Boom. Right. Nastiness at all levels there. Right. So hopefully you're feeling the benefit of that. Okay. And as I'll always say, if you're not quite sure, if you've just put in a decent bit of work into those glutes and you've really went for it, when you stand up and you squeeze the butt cheeks, you should feel like you're squeezing them with a whole new level of force, okay? That is always the indicator. You're like, oh, I feel it, okay? There's no hiding it. What about that now? Right, we're gonna get stuck in to the groin, okay? We're gonna get into our classic groin stretch before we do any glute movement, because if your groin's feeling pretty tight, you're gonna struggle to get into that glute position anyway for the stretch. So we're gonna get stuck into the groin. Classic kneeling groin stretch, you should know it by now. My knees as wide as I can. I need to have a good mat that my knees are comfortable on. If you're on a hard surface, you're not going to be able to get a good stretch out of this because you'll just be wincing from the pain. So we don't want our knees uncomfortable. Get a mat, get a decent bit of carpet, whatever you're on. Feet, make sure your toes are pointing away from you so that we're not up onto the feet like I am now. Point them away. Get onto the elbows. And then all I'm trying to do is keep that neutral spine. Push back, 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 back. Pull the knees apart a wee bit more if I can. And just gently start going back until you feel that stretch reflex kick in the groin. Okay, and once you feel it, so I've got it, okay? It's feeling like a damn good stretch across my groin. And just like any other stretch, we're going to be holding this for 2 minutes, but you are actively trying to take it further. Now, the lower back, I don't want your pelvis to start creeping underneath your body, so just always think about trying to push that tailbone back to the wall behind you, if you like. With the arms, you don't want a lot of weight on the arms, so I would suggest moving your arms further away from your body, and then you'll feel that more weight goes onto your knees, which is what we're after. We have to stay in a relaxed state, and that's why we just go a wee bit further each time. Get used to it, test and adjust, and keep going. So keep pulling those knees apart, keep pushing those hips back, and you can really go for this one. Now you can go to a position that feels like a good stretch and feel that that's good enough, but trust me, with this one, this is one of those ones that you could probably go a lot further. Further and further and further. 1 more minute. Really go for it, okay? You're trying to take this as far as you can because you're trying to get better. You're trying to increase your flexibility here. Good. Good. Right, relax out of that slowly. I want you to stand up just to shake out first. Okay. Oof. How's that feeling? Pretty nasty, I'm sure. Okay, there we are. Right, we're going to get into our enhanced glute stretch. Never a nice one for those who don't do it very often. And I'll be honest, never a nice one for me. Never nice if you're constantly exercising, you're constantly doing a lot of squats and a lot of exercise with your legs. The enhanced glute stretch is just a constant battle. You never really feel like you're winning, but you will get better at it. So, legs out, 90 degrees, pin that foot down, because if it's tight and it's jammed up tight and at this hip, that foot's just going to start getting pulled towards you. So I don't want that. So I'm up, pinning that foot, and that back leg I'm putting behind me. Then I'm bringing this knee back down. Then I'm just trying to simply square myself up over it, like so, until I feel like I'm in a good, balanced position, okay? So you can't probably see what I'm doing with my leg, but either way, I've got my foot here and I've got my knee over there, okay? They're in a line with each other. My knee's not away forward and my foot's not away back. Now, all I'm doing here from this position is trying to push down and get as much weight on there as I possibly can. So I'm pushing my hips down. Where will you feel it? You'll feel it on the hip capsule, the glutes of that bent leg. So you need to focus on relaxing, because this one is probably nasty. And for some, me included, this one feels all right. Feels disgusting, but the right one's always so much more jammed up for me personally. So on this one, I can get straight down onto the elbows. If you can, go for it. Get onto the elbows and really start trying to push your weight down. But it has to be relaxed. It has to be relaxed. You have to think about that hip. Is the hip relaxed? No, then you need to ease off it a bit and slowly build onto it. So if it's that bad, you need to break yourself in with it. We're trying to stay in a relaxed state. This is horrible, okay? It's not a nice stretch, but it's a very effective one. We're internally rotating that hip. Getting the glutes, but lower back will be getting the benefit of this one as well. The hip capsule itself. Good. So it's always one that feels disgusting. Okay, I'm going to change legs. The back leg's probably feeling it to some degree too, but again, that depends on you and what's tight. That back leg will be thrown back behind you. You might feel it in the groin or the hip flexor. So I'm going to change legs, and you'll see straight away, this side's always stiffer for me. Don't tell me, don't ask me why, I don't know. So I'm going to get up first. I'm going to pin that foot, I'm going to move that knee back down, and straight away, I'm struggling to even get in any sort of position because that knee just wants to lift off, but I'm not going to let it, am I? So that back leg, I'm just moving it behind me. I'm trying to square myself off over this leg. And see, just holding this position right now, that's bad enough. Whereas the other side, I could get right down onto those elbows straight away almost. So I'm focusing on my breathing. I'm making sure my knee is in line with my foot as best I can. Make sure you don't start letting that knee creep forward or that foot slide back. And then it is literally just a case of you trying to relax into it. The focus on your breathing, that's going to help relax. So and it can be very uncomfortable. That's why you have to concentrate, okay? You have to concentrate on focusing on your breathing, concentrate on just trying to relax as best you can. And down onto those elbows if you're able to. and relax. Right, I want you to grab your resistance band. We're going to finish this party off with the hamstring stretch. So resistance band, you use what you've got, of course. Oh, what the heck, it just has to be all fangled up. How does that even happen? Oh, dear, bloody hell. Right, okay, so resistance band. It doesn't have to be a big thick one. If you've got a thick resistance band, use the thick one. If you don't, you can double up your thinner one. But just be careful, of course, because the thin ones, it's a big powerful muscle group we're stretching out here. It's going to be a lot of tension required to get the good stretch. So just be cautious. If you are using a thin resistance band, just be careful you're not putting it under too much tension and the thing ends up snapping, okay? Because that wouldn't be funny, would it? Right, okay, so we're going to hook it around the ball of the foot, and I'm pulling it straight away, pulling it so that I'm relaxed, okay? So I'm pulling the foot towards me, the toes towards me, and when I do that, what do you feel? Okay, you'll probably feel everything starting to lengthen out here, going in at the back of the knees, and that's the purpose, so that when I get into the hamstring stretch, everything's already lengthened out, so I'm going to get more from it. Good solid grip, and I want you just to simply lie back, but we're keeping this leg locked out, and I'm keeping that other leg completely dead weight, so try to get that knee to stay on the ground, okay? Try not to have it like this. Then, I'm focusing on this leg. I want you to reach up and grab as much resistance band as you can, but I want your body and your shoulders to be pinned to the floor. If you're taking that much tension and you look like this now and you're away up holding this stress position, okay, you'll end up tight. Well, there's no need, basically. Get back and relax. So pull down on that resistance band, and all I'm trying to do is bring this leg further and further back, focusing on my breathing. And this is a stretch like many other where you can probably go a lot further than you are. So pull it back more and more and more. I'm keeping this knee locked out, not bent, locked out, and you should be feeling it in the hamstrings. Pulling down on that resistance band as much as you can, but keeping your upper body relaxed, okay? This is our last stretch, and then we're done. So focus on your breathing. Take it back more and more and more. Like I said, make sure you're going back as far as you can. We can inflict a lot of discomfort with this stretch. Very important stretch, the hamstring one. Good. Feeds off nicely after doing the glutes as well. Take it further. Take it as far as you can. Good. And then everybody, we relax. It's as simple as that, okay? And we change legs. We don't need to do anything other than just hook the band around the other foot. Set yourself up. And let's go for it without further ado. So pulling down. Once I'm back, once I'm lying down, reach up for more of that band. We want more tension, but I want to stay relaxed, okay? So this side's feeling a wee bit tighter. Make sure the knee's locked out and take it back further. Just always make sure you're trying to take it back as far as you can, and just make sure you've actually got it as far back as you can. So while we're holding this, we'll summarise. Full body with an upper body focus on more than anything. With a wee bit of the key areas done on the lower body. We don't ever get enough time to do the full body properly. We never will. But each time we do full body, I try and make sure that what we didn't get done, the last time we done full body, we get done this time. So it's always evolving, always changing, but we are always following a system. It might not seem like it, but we are. There's always method behind the madness. Next mobility we do will be runner special part 2. Okay, part 2, which will be groin, which will be glutes and a bit of lower back and hip flexors as well. So that should put it into a nice 2-part system. So even if you don't run, that gives you an idea of what we're doing, which everybody could benefit from: the glutes, groin, hip flexors, getting a bit of work done. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing next time. Relax there, everybody. Job done, well done. And it's as simple as that. Hopefully you're feeling like you've had a good productive hour out your day there and you put some goodness back into that body. Thank you very much and have a good day.